All right. So I went to a listing appointment for my new listing in Jacksonville in eTown, a master plan group, community by Parc Group, famously known for the master plan community of Nocatee. And so if you go into eTown, you will see that there has been further commercial development, but there's not a lot of new residential available there, mostly townhomes and apartments, if you will, with just a few smaller new home construction by David Weekley. But today, as I went through that commercial area, I noticed that there was a massive Publix grocery store. And if you've watched some of my previous videos, specifically one that I mentioned, what's next after Nocatee, I had suspect in my mind with all the commercial development in eTown, it only being 1,500 homes about. There had to be a reason why all this commercial development was there, and it certainly wasn't there to support only 1,500 homes. So it was really a beautiful Publix grocery store when I was there getting a sandwich. And I thought to myself, Publix, one of the largest grocery stores based here in Florida, did not put this massive state-of-the-art, beautiful grocery store here just for eTown. And so today, eTown may not seem like there's a lot going on, but behind the doors with the developer, there is some massive, massive development coming. So stick around because I'm about to unravel a lot of information on this video. If you're interested to find out what's going on in Southeast Jacksonville and what's up with the Parc Group after Nocatee, then stick around. Let's get into it. All right, really quick, welcome to the Living in Jacksonville, Florida official YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and press the subscribe button here. And really quick, I just want to make note, if you notice here, there are tabs at the top, and this one is the playlist tab. And if you go ahead and click on that playlist tab, you will notice here to the right, I have a community section, which is going to include the video, which I made a couple years ago, regarding eTown, which is the subject of today's video. And if you notice here, you'll scroll down and you'll be able to find a cool place to live, Jacksonville, Florida, eTown. And I will go ahead and include that in the description of this video as well, so you can easily click to it as well if you want to learn more about eTown. Very proud of this video, over 4,000 views, but it has been 2 years, and so today we are updating what's going on in eTown. And so I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to the eTown webpage. And as I said before, we're kind of towards the end of development here, okay? There are some townhomes in Newton at eTown, a few townhomes left by Toll Brothers. There is some single-family homes and rear entry homes by David Weekley in Granville at eTown, smaller homes available there. And then in Kettering at eTown, some townhomes by David Weekley. And then finally, I think there's only a couple Del Webb homes left. They don't even have anybody in their model over there. And then, of course, there is a lot of rental opportunities right now. And the latest development is Volta and Cottage Street. If you're looking for a really cool apartment near commercial area, then Volta could be for you. Very super cool option. And then Cottage Street is renting out townhome homes type villas, if you will, on the west side of eTown. So the real big thing that's going on, as I mentioned earlier, was at the Exchange at eTown. And the Exchange at eTown, as I said, has that big Publix grocery store. It's the commercial center, if you will. And as you see here, Baptist Health is joined. They have their own fire station. They have Gate Petroleum. Providence Homes is committed to building a brand new design center there. Kind of odd, right? Because we're at the end of development. And then you have Tulum Mexican Restaurant, Publix Liquors, Publix Pharmacy, Dental Care, Grand Nails Lounge, Mochi Cafe, a bank, Great Clips, Papa John's. And there's that beautiful Publix I mentioned that seems so empty inside. Again, on a weekday in the afternoon, people were super friendly, beautiful Publix inside. And I had to think to myself, there's got to be more coming. And why would Providence Home be building their design center now after they've already developed a community in eTown? And then also, rumor has it as well, is that David Weekley, home builder, is also building a new design center office in eTown as well. So this is what's going on in eTown, but what's coming? Okay, so I had talked about this back in 2024, and it was announced or presented, but it didn't. I didn't know if it was going to be greenlit or not, and I got into great detail about it back then. I'm recording this video here in February of 2025, but if you go ahead to my live tab here on the Living in Jacksonville channel, and you go over here to this thumbnail called Surf's Up Jacksonville. I talk about the possibility, which is now a reality, that Jacksonville, Florida, a new surf park coming to town. And of course, if you want to learn more about this, I get really heavily in depth about this, what it means for the area. Go ahead and watch that. Also, put it in the comments of what you think about all this, because there's only 20 surf parks in the world, maybe 18, 20. And so it's a big deal. And Brad Davis, the family member of the Davis family who owns all this land in eTown, in Nocatee, the Winn-Dixie family, he announced it himself that there was going to be a 5,000 or not 5,000, a 5-acre pool, if you will, or surf pool, and including a 100-room boutique hotel, a couple hundred multifamily or 300 multifamily and 200 condos, but a massive development. And the idea is to be a surf club, and I'll get into it a little bit more here. But if you would like to read up more about it, you can see for yourself that his partners that are in the development of the technology of it is called Aventure. You can check out their website. And it's crazy to me because I get into it on that video a little bit more in depth, but the technology of this, because there's only so many around the world, if anything goes wrong with the technology of this side of things, it's a very, very expensive project. I imagine a very hefty bill. And I know that from my research on that video, you'll come to find that a few of these projects have not worked. And Aventure, based out of LA, I did a little research on them. They haven't been around a whole long time. Maybe they've been involved in other developments, but if you go to their website, you'll see that they're developing in Perth, Australia, Auckland, New Zealand, and then it's kind of funny to see Jacksonville right here. Talk about putting Jacksonville on the map. So what does this mean for the area? What does this mean for tourism? It's a pretty big project. I think it's kind of risky. I'm not sure how I feel about it. If you watch my live on it, I kind of hemmed and hawed about the different scenarios here, but here it is, Jacksonville Surf Park, located in eTown. It'll create a vibrant, sustainable surf park community that is authentic to North Florida. Now, the surf park aspect of it, from what I understand, is that it's going to be based on membership fees, monthly membership fees, as far as the surf aspect of it. Opening in late 2027, which is incredible to me as well, that timeline. The surf park is set to deliver quality sport, recreation, hospitality, tourism amenities that celebrate the region's surfing heritage, culture, and outdoor coastal lifestyle. High-quality sites been secured in eTown, master plan community off of State Road 9B, south side of Duval County here in Jacksonville, developed by the Parc Group. 56-module Wave Garden Cove is the focal point of the park in offering unparalleled surf, leisure, well-being experience for all ages and abilities, delivered consistently in a safe, controlled environment. And in addition to the surfing lagoon, which I think he mentioned was 5 acres, correct me if I'm wrong, the Jacksonville Surf Park will also feature High Performance Surf Academy, a boutique hotel. He mentioned around 100 rooms, health and wellness center, beach club, quality food, beverage offering, retail stores, and event space. The phased master plan allows for exciting mix of entertainment, retail, multifamily, residential, and green spaces in the future. Alongside Aventura, the project local general partnerships include um, Lockwood Homes, the Skinner family, Hawley, Smith, and Brad Davis. So huge project, and I think it's super exciting. It's just kind of funny here. Here we have a picture of the future place for this surf park, hotel, condominiums, more development right here on the west side of eTown, 9B exit. There's eTown, there's the west side. So, what's that going to do to the area, folks? That's a heck of a lot of traffic and development coming to the area. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. But yeah, this is a huge announcement, and I'm trying to think to myself, why would they be taking on such a risky development? And my thought on all this is that the fact is that the Davis family is part of the partners of the Parc Group that developed one of the most successful master plan communities in America called Nocatee. And Nocatee has these amazing water parks and amazing facilities. And eTown also has a lot to offer as far as that golf cart road system. It has the exchange, that commercial development, and now it has like a major, not just a regional attraction, but a national attraction, this surf park with a hotel, to really draw a crowd to this area. And so this is massive. And that's my thought behind that. And I can't take away the vision for all this, the visionary for this, because this is pretty incredible if you're excited about development like I am. Of course, there's a flip side to that. But wait, there's more. Okay, you're still with me. So I also did another video, and again, I'm going to include all these videos in the show notes. I don't need to keep taking you back to the channel, but I did a video called What's Next After Nocatee, because the Parc Group that's had such success with the master plan community of Nocatee went ahead and started developing eTown, and now eTown is towards the end of development. And back in 2023, I shared this article, which it just amazes me, because what got me thinking about this was there was a certain region, and I'll show you on Google Maps in a second. There's a certain area of Nocatee, kind of near 20 Mile, but on the Duval section, where there's a set of roads, double lane roads, that just mysteriously end, which leads me to believe that those roads will eventually connect, or I thought would connect to eTown. Because the land north of Nocatee is all land owned by the Davis family. And so it was announced back in 2023 in this article by the Jacksonville Daily Record, 6,000 acres in Southeast Jacksonville review for residential commercial development. Big Creek Timber, affiliated with Davis family, requests rezoning for undeveloped property east of eTown and north of Nocatee. So again, as you see here, all this land is owned by the Davis family. Actually, east of it is their ranch. But I had strong beliefs that eTown was going to connect to Nocatee one day. And with the big Publix that I keep bringing up, Publix is not going to build a huge state-of-the-art facility like that for just 1,500 homes in eTown. So the Davis Land's holdings include property that became Nocatee and eTown, is working towards more than 6,000 acre residential commercial development in Southeast Jacksonville. They want to rezone 6,174 acres east of Interstate 295 and south of Butler Boulevard for those uses. About a third of the acreage will be protected, which they did in Nocatee as well, placed in conservation. The undeveloped property east of Sweetwater, eTown, Wells Creek, Hampton Park, Florida 9B, and US 1 is north of Nocatee. It's next to the Davis family's 25,000 acre DDOT ranch. The rezoning planned unit development specifies 10,500 residential units comprising of 6,000 single-family houses, 2,410 townhomes, 2,052 multifamily units, and 915,000 square feet of commercial use. These applications for ordinance is scheduled for hearings at the Jacksonville Planning Commission. This was back in 23, I believe. And so here is a look at the land that we're talking about, all owned by the Davis family. And so it goes from all the way here below J.T. Butler, eTown, east of it, all the way south here to just north of Nocatee. And I'm showing this just to remind you because there's been more announcements actually today, ironically. And I didn't plan this video to align with this next set of news that just came out today. But this land is all having to be rezoned, I guess, from agricultural to commercial and residential. This is all has to be approved by the city, right? The city of Jacksonville. The PUD proposes cluster development for the efficient use of land that allows for the preservation of significant portion of property for conservation purposes. It also proposes architectural standards that will facilitate aesthetically pleasing common development theme that is internally, externally compatible. A site plan shows uses to be permitted within each area in the property according to the master plan. So yeah, this is massive. All this land here between eTown and Nocatee is, I believe, is the future of development. And they get into it in this article showing some maps here of the commercial, the multifamily, the townhomes, the single family. So quite a lot of single family going on. So it's going to be interesting, but this map doesn't really propose that it would connect to Nocatee, but over here, as it shows down here, that it's certainly close to the Nocatee Parkway entrance on the southeast section of the Jacksonville Duval property lines. So it's also going to be east of Wells Creek community as well. So it's going to be very, very interesting how this project turns out. And then, of course, there's been more announcements today further on the beginning of this development. And like I said, today, by no coincidence, here on February 4th, day of recording this video, 2025, it's reported by the Jacksonville Daily Record, EverRange preparing to build a welcome center. The Parc Group is developing a 1,000-acre South Jacksonville community with 1,500 homes and amenities. A welcome center. Okay, I'm a little confused because eTown already has a welcome center. And eTown has all this commercial area called the Exchange. So I just assumed eTown would be continuing development down to the Nocatee with all this rezoning of land in between. But there's something now called EverRange. So the Parc Group is calling it something completely new. It's called EverRange, and they're doing a welcome center that's almost 4,000 square feet. It's called the Grove at EverRange. So the master plan 1,000-acre EverRange community is South Jacksonville is in review for construction as a welcome center as Parc Group. Just reminds me of how Nocatee had a welcome center. And the project developer prepares for model homes to open in spring 2026. The city is reviewing a building permit application, Carlton Construction Inc. of Fleming Island, to build a welcome center at an estimated cost of $2.3 million. And the plans show that the 3,792 square foot center is part of a welcome area outdoor recreational complex that will be called the Grove. And the complex is 12.72 acres. It'll include a welcome center, a lakeside pavilion, and more. Pretty cool. And remember, eTown does not have pickleball courts. So is this connected in any way? It's both Parc Group. Will the CDD fees of eTown be combined with the CDD fees of EverRange? How is this all going to work? And will this all connect to Nocatee? But pretty incredible plans for this project, almost $3 million. Parc Group of Jacksonville is developing EverRange, and a property owned by the Davis family, of course. In the EverRange land runs north and south, ending along Phillips Highway at the southern tip of Duval County, where Phillips connects with Nocatee Parkway, running east and Racetrack Road running west. The description of the grove is to be construction of the Welcome Center, the Lakeside Pavilion, pool, a pool mechanical yard, playground equipment, an overlook, dog park, shade structures, sports courts, including pickleball, fencing, and monument signs. And I'm going to show you where this is because this is really crazy. If you see the land that's being cleared off in development off of Phillips right there by the Nocatee Parkway, this is going to be the new entrance to EverRange. And it does disclose in here there will be Art Rail Network, a trail network, Art Rail, a trailway network, a recreation pond, and other ponds with EverRange. The Parc Group said the EverRange community will span 1,500 homes with the charming rustic modern ambiance. And it says it does not anticipate being in construction in the neighborhoods until the second half of 2025. First ones will open in 2026. It's announced that Toll Brothers will be building an active adult 55 plus neighborhood. Kind of odd to me. Maybe not though, because it's Duval County. It's not St. Johns County Schools. So maybe that's why they're going that angle. And I've never really known Toll Brothers to be doing active adult communities. So going to be very interesting to me. And then Dreamfinders Homes will be developing townhome neighborhood. Not very exciting to me. EverRange sits with 6,174 acres that Big Creek Timber LLC rezoned in February 2023, the previous article I showed you. And a third of the acreage will be protected in conservation. Make sure we keep announcing that. The Parc Group is also the master developer of eTown, Nocatee, both of them planned communities on the Davis family land. Announced in July 2023 that EverRange will connect to the exchange. It will eventually connect to the exchange at eTown Retail Center. Bingo. Publix would not be building a massive grocery store for 1,500 homes. But now eTown, EverRange is joining the party, and they have another 1,500 homes that are green lit. And so that's what, 3,000 homes. Still not enough for a Publix. So those 10,000 homes on the previous article I mentioned to you, that seems more likely. And again, this development is planning to go on for the next 15, 20 years. So this is the next big project by Parc Group after Nocatee. And it is now called EverRange. And how it's going to connect to eTown and will it connect directly to Nocatee is yet to be found out. But let me go ahead and show you on the map now what this all looks like on Google Maps. So here's Nocatee right here. And what got me on this whole research horse was, if you notice here, here's the 20 mile on the east side, and then on the Duval section of Nocatee, which is right here. If you see this neighborhood right here is called Timberland Ridge at Nocatee. There's a double lane road and it just ends right here. And I find it rather odd because if you ever see roads that end in Nocatee or golf cart trails that end, I suspect that eventually they will connect to something eventually. Now, I might be wrong because the development that we're seeing right now, the beginning of development for EverRange is actually right here by the Nocatee Parkway. And if you have been driving on Phillips Highway and you're wondering why they're mowing down all these trees, it's because this is going to be the entrance to EverRange. And the development is going to continue over here, west of some retail, and then literally lined up right behind Wells Creek. Now, again, I bring all this up because Wells Creek people were fighting coming out of that neighborhood on Phillips for a traffic light because the traffic has been horrendous on Phillips Highway. So adding another entrance to another master plan community known as EverRange down here, what's that going to do to traffic here on Phillips Highway? Racetrack is pretty bad as well. So I hope the road system is going to be worked out. But this development is 1,500 homes, and it goes all the way up to here. And the Davis family owns all this land, and this is their ranch area here. But this is eTown over here, and it's all going to connect. So I believe all this development is going to happen phase by phase, and we're talking 25 years of development here of 10,000 homes in commercial, retail, probably some schools, but this is all Duval County. And again, it goes back to, massive surf park over here as well. So just a major attraction to these developers' projects. And it's super exciting to see what's going to happen to this whole area and all this land, but it's all eventually going to get developed. All right, so you thought you were just coming here to learn about eTown, but you've learned about a big, massive surf park, all this commercial development coming to the area. You've learned about the new development of EverRange. Will it connect to eTown? Yes. Will it all be part of the CDD? I don't know. But a lot of massive development in the pipeline in the future. So what does this mean for the area? What does this mean for infrastructure? Is all been figured out. And so I came to thinking about all this when I was at the listing appointment, because I told my sellers in eTown, I said, hey, you may want to consider putting this up for rent, because all this question, I mean, they're going to be right next to a massive international surf park. And eTown is very quaint. It's a great business model that the Parc Group has done already once in Nocatee. Has amazing amenities, has plenty of green space. It has the golf cart road system. It has the really quaint Publix, grocery store, and commercial area. Everything you would need. And so you add all this other development in here, it could raise property values, and a lot of people will be building in the future in this area, so it could make for a very good rental. So we decided not only we are listing the property, but we're also putting it up for rent as well, because I think it would be a good income producing property in the long term in that area. And so that's what got my juices flowing. That's what motivated me today. My name is Greg DeTullio. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a real estate professional. I don't monetize off YouTube. So if you're thinking about selling or you're thinking about moving to the area, text me, email me, or call me. My information will be pinned to the comments section below. I will put all the links to all the shows that I have done previously that I mentioned on here today. If you want to learn more about eTown, I will also link that video here at the end, as well as my listing video of this property. Thank you for joining me. I will see you on the next video, and don't forget to reach out for all your real estate needs. Thanks for watching.